What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of 407 Rangers. It is your host, Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to go live. Upload a post or do a stream or highlights. Now, I will be uploading more highlights. I just have to wait for them to do the whole verification process because they're kind of weird about me uploading clips on a daily. It's like you have to be verified every couple of weeks or some crap like that in order for you to upload more videos. But that is the least of my worries because tonight's game was just, oh, I don't even know where to start. The fact that they had the lead and blew it, or the simple fact that Igor Shesterkin got hurt, and now there is no telling how long he is going to be out with that injury. Because I can definitely assure you, it looks like it's going to either be week to week, or he could be out for a couple of months. And that's the last thing this team needs. That is the last thing this team needs. Because believe it or not, Igor Shesterkin is legitimately why this team has not been absolutely ass or cheese. Like, he's been single-handedly saving them from having way more worse losses, and let alone being very below on the freaking standings. What's going on, Insane Facts? Everything's going, man. I'm trying to maintain. I'm just very upset at the fact that Igor Shesterkin is out, and there's no telling how long he is going to be out for. Because, my God, Jonathan Quick did his best. At the end of the day, nobody can be mad about the outcome with Jonathan Quick or any of that because he did his part. He did his part as far as being the backup goalie and things like that. So he didn't even expect to be on the ice. It was going to single handedly be Igor's game. So the fact that Jonathan Quick at least was prepared and was ready, it says a lot. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like he was, completely ass. He did not even expect to play. Now, I don't think no one expected Igor Shesterkin to be hurt. Now, for those of you who are wondering how did Igor Shesterkin get hurt, pretty much off the JJ Peterka breakaway. I mean, he pretty much was like trying to skate down and slow himself down, but his body, I guess, kind of collided with Igor Shesterkin. And Igor tried to bend himself a certain way, and pretty much the left knee in his back leg calf was like bent an unusual way. And pretty much from there, once I saw Igor on that ground, I just knew. I was like, this game is cooked. This game is cooked. Normally, I see Igor get up even if he slowly does, but the fact that he couldn't get up and he was like, he looked like couldn't even get off the ground. I was like, wow. Yep, it's finito. Because I knew 100% that once I saw him on the ground and he was not able to get up, he was going to that locker room and you was not going to see him come back into the game. You just knew. Now, what kind of injury is it? I'm not too sure yet. We have to wait on the MRI and things like that for them to give you what kind of diagnosis it is. Obviously, it's going to be a lower body injury, but there's no telling how long he's going to be out for. In my guess, he's going to be out for weeks. Definitely. It's going to be like a week to week injury. I'd be in shock if he only has to miss like 4 or 5 games with that leg injury. I'll be in absolute shock. Now, as far as like what are they going to do about the goaltending tandem, because Igor's going to be out for a little bit, you're more than likely going to see Dylan Garand get called up from the Hartford Wolfpack. That's just a huge possibility that you might see him. And Jonathan Quick's going to most likely be the starting goalie for now until Igor comes back. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, chat. I don't know how it's going to be. I mean, in order for us to like, I even said this on the Twitter and Discord chat. I said Henrik, I mean, Jonathan Quake and Dylan Garand are gonna have to like do some Dragon Ball Z shit and do like a fusion dance, and they somehow become like Mike Richter and Henrik Lundqvist combined, and we call that shit Rick Lundqvist. That's like my new thing I came up with. Rick Lundqvist. That's what Garon and Quick are gonna have to play like those two guys combined in order for any Ranger fan to feel like there's some kind of hope. Because right now it is 1000% the time to panic. Yes, absolutely. Without Igor, this team is going to quite possibly get exposed. It's just that's the bottom line. Cause my God, just when you know, it's kind of sad that this is the season where they look decent, but when it comes to their home record, it's like they have the worst of luck when it comes to playing in the Garden. And you know, oh my goodness, you know what else got me like, wow, it's the James Dolan WFAN appearance. Oh my goodness, you're really telling me that Chris fucking Jury is a winner? That's what this man said, ladies and gentlemen. The man, James Dolan, believes that Chris Jury is going to create a winning culture with Mike Sullivan based on what he's been seeing right now. I mean, I'm in absolute shock, man. The fact that he even believes that Drury is going to be the solution to them winning a Stanley Cup. James Dolan, you're better off just focusing with the New York Knicks because there's no way in hell you're taking this hockey team seriously with what you have been seeing from Chris Drury's run, and you're telling us that what Chris Drury has been doing as far as the roster construction, the contracts, and things like that, that's screaming Stanley Cup potential. My God. Gotta tell you, sometimes I really do hate to say that this is the most unserious hockey team I root for sometimes. It truly is. I mean, it's baffling sometimes. This is what we gotta deal with. Our top goalie getting hurt. Owner of the team believing that the GM is doing the right things despite everything that's been happening. And now, we just don't know what this team's gonna give us. I don't know if Jonathan Quick can give you the Los Angeles Kings version of himself. Like I think he's either 40 or 41 years old. He's right up there with age, man. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do that. Now I know he's a good backup goalie. Yes, I'm not knocking Jonathan Quick for being a good goalie at all. No, that's not the case. What we got going on right now is you're asking Jonathan fucking Quick to be your starting goaltender at the age of 40. Not to say he's not going to win you a couple games, but it's definitely going to be tough for him. It's going to be absolutely tough. Like he's going to have to go into the fountain of youth. Now Dylan Garand, you know what? Let's look up his let's look up his stats right now. I gotta see what kind of stats Dylan Garand has been putting up with Hartford because that's going to determine what kind of what kind of freaking goaltending he's gonna give you. I'm checking right now. Sorry, guys. If you guys are on the chat, you guys can feel free to react and say how you feel about all of it because this is man, guys. I don't even know how to like speak properly or say the right things because the Igor thing is messing my head up. It truly is. But okay. So far for Dylan Garand with the Hartford Wolfpack. He's had 5 wins, 7 losses, including 2 overtime losses. He has 2.84 goals against average, which is actually not bad. And he has a 904 save percentage in 15 games. So actually, that's not bad. That is not bad at all for your like AHL goalie to have decent numbers like that. So if Dylan Garon can adapt to the NHL level and he has like a 900 percentage type of night every game, and Jonathan Quick has at least an above 9 as well, then the Rangers can have some kind of hope. Now, what will really piss me off is the fact that the Rangers will start playing this great elite hockey all of a sudden because Igor Shesterkin ain't behind the net. And it's going to make me feel like Igor's been getting fed to the Wolves the whole time. And it's like the core saying, all right, $11.5 billion goalie, you got the big bucks. Show us what you're made of. Like, it's going to truly piss me off if I see that. But, man. Well, they do play the Sabres on Thursday, and honestly, with Igor out, the Sabres are definitely going to have a chance to beat them because once again, they're in the Garden. And the Sabres aren't ass this year. Nope. If I'm not mistaken, they were like in a 10-game winning streak. So it's going to be very rough for them to beat the Sabres. You don't have Igor. You can't win at the Garden. And the Sabres have completely turned it around. Alex Tuck ain't made no more. Tage Thompson, Ramos Damlin, even Josh Norris, the guy that everybody thought was like a trade bug when they got traded out of Ottawa, he's actually doing good. And then you got Zach Benson, like even Alex Lyon, he's doing really good goaltending for them this year. So the Sabres are no longer a joke. They are actually in the mix of being in the playoffs, believe it or not. And some people are going to be like, well, it's too soon. I'm telling you, I don't think they're fucking around this year. And the Rangers are going to have a very tough assignment this Thursday trying to figure out how they're going to beat a very hot Sabres team. Because the Sabres are no longer a joke. You can't come in the Garden expecting to actually like beat the Sabres. They're not a joke. And if they actually do something in a trade deadline, then you really got to worry because they're going to be actually a better team, more better than they already are. Now, if you ask me, now that Igor's hurt, Drury's going to have to definitely put some use with the LTIR out of his injury, especially if it's going to be long term. You're going to have to do something, especially at the trade deadline. Now I have no choice but to wait for the deadline because that's going to be the only thing that will give me an idea of how this second half of the season is going to turn out for the New York Rangers. JT Miller is going to be back next week, but like I said, these guys can be back healthy, ready to go, but it's going to hurt them when they don't have that elite goaltending. So there's no telling what happens. Now, I'll leave y'all my final thought here. And if you guys want to have anything else to say, please let me know. I'll give you guys my reaction to your comments in the chat and things like that before I hang things up here. Because, like I said, I'm still like at a loss for words. Like, I truly don't know what Igor Shesterkin, how long it's going to take for his recovery period. Because if it's months, and the way it looks, the last thing I need to hear is that he's out for the season. Chat, if he is out for the season, just hang the season the hell up. Because there's no way in hell this team is going to even sniff the wild card or the playoffs without that goaltender named Igor Shesterkin. It's just that simple. No Igor, no playoffs. That's like the best way for me to describe it because you're not like Igor Shesterkin was putting up Vesna Trophy type of numbers. So without a goaltender that's doing that for you this season, despite the roller coaster of a standings record they have right now, it's going to bite them in the ass. 1000%. And I don't like being that Debbie Downer negative Nancy. I want the Rangers to prove me the hell wrong that they can do this without Igor. Because they were able to stay in the game after Igor got sent to the locker room and Jonathan Quick was able to keep them in the game despite the Mammoth hitting the overtime game winning goal. They can do it, but like I said, Jonathan Quick is you if you rely on Jonathan Quick every game, you're going to be in for a long second half of the season. It's just that simple. So I will give you guys my updates. I'm gonna definitely be like checking in on how long the injury is, what kind of MRI is, the diagnosis of his injury, and things of that nature. And I will keep you guys updated on Thursday's game as well. And we're almost at 250 subscribers. Guys, we're being told that this channel is underrated, so it's greatly appreciated that people are starting to see what kind of content we bring into this channel. Because as y'all know, it's more than just a Rangers rant. I do upload highlights and things like that. But if you guys can keep sharing, subscribing this channel, we're trying to get to 300. Our main goal is to get to 500 before the end of the season. That'll be freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, watching this channel grow it's always a great thing to see. And you guys are literally the reason why I'm doing this. And guys who be on the chat, you guys are greatly appreciated as always. So your support is gonna never be unappreciated. It's gonna always be the biggest support for me. So I'm gonna be doing this. Rangers can be losing all they could go 0 and 82, but because I have this channel, I'm gonna always be giving you guys what you asked for. So it's greatly appreciated. I will be uploading more highlights very soon. I just have to wait for the verification approval, as I said before. And let's just hope that this team is gonna start like trying to shoot the puck better, pass the puck a little more, and have way more defensive controlling in the blue zone and actually not let neutral zone opportunities happen. And you can't rely on Jonathan Quick and Dylan Garon because if you do that, you're gonna go on a 10-game losing streak. 1000%. You gotta meet these goaltenders halfway. At least help them. Like give them some kind of help, which they did. I'm not gonna sit here and say they didn't. Today they were doing absolutely good, clearing the puck out right there by the freaking doormat, and not giving the Mammoth too many opportunities to hit the freaking goal right then and there. So they kind of made the Mammoth work for that overtime game winning goal. It would have been nice for them to get the win, yes, but at least they got a point. Because if you ask me, when Igor Shesterkin got hurt, I thought they were going to get no points. So the fact that they gained a point out of this loss, despite the Igor Shesterkin injury, was a little impressive. But now the biggest test for you is how are you going to approach the Buffalo Sabres that are actually on a streak, winning games. They're not even in the bottom standings anymore. They are in the verge of being like the top 4 or 5 in the Atlantic Division. So this team is not a joke. So we got to see how they're going to do that. Now, Mika Zibanejad, Artemi Panarin, and Vinny Trocheck and Alexis Lafrenière once again all contributed tonight. So you have that as well. If as long as they keep being the point per game players and the depth just do their little contributing, even Matt Rampant because he's starting to improve his hockey IQ, believe it or not, then there's a little bit of hope. But until then, we don't know what kind of lineup Sullivan's going to create now because of this whole situation. So as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. I will definitely keep y'all updated for Thursday's game against the Sabres. And I'll see y'all on the next one, and I'll keep y'all up to date as well on the Igor Shesterkin injury. Let's pray that this isn't a long term, because if it is, you got to hang this season up and just hope that they freaking finish off decent. That's the best thing I can say about all of this. But as always, y'all, have a great night. Thank y'all for watching. Enjoy your week, and let's pray for better outcomes.